Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for May 1, 2023, the Corporate Rot Edition. And we begin with that story from the Financial Times. In an article on corporate culture, Emma Jacobs and Andrew Hill talk about how to spot corporate rot. The CBI scandal in the United Kingdom has prompted business leaders to re-examine their culture and their treatment of their staff. Corporate culture, how to improve it and how to stop it turning bad is back at the top of the boardroom agenda after the UK company CBI was rocked by rape allegations from 2 women. In an open letter, the president of the company said that the UK entity had failed to filter out culturally toxic people during the hiring process, and some managers had been promoted too quickly without enough training on values, and the group would pay more attention to competence than behavior. You think about that in terms of dovetailing in what the U.S. Department of Justice has said about corporate culture. You need to pick up your corporate culture. Next up from Reuters, the U.S. Treasury Department will allow the auction of shares of CITGO to go forward based upon a bankruptcy court ruling that creditors who are owed money by PDVSA can attach the only asset of PDVSA, which of course is CITGO. This will be a true blow to the Venezuelan government. Nevertheless, given their treatment of creditors, not surprising. Our next story comes to us from the Wall Street Journal, and ChatGPT ban is lifted in Italy after the chatbot's developer OpenAI implemented changes demanded by the regulator, the latest twist in the complex regulatory response to the new technology. Italy's ban was the first nationwide ban of ChatGPT, and the privacy regulator said that OpenAI had implemented most of its demand and giving more information about how it processes information. And our final story comes from the Wall Street Journal as well, and the CIO Journal, and it's about corporate technology. And corporate tech is under scrutiny, additional scrutiny, based upon the recession and potential downturn in the economy. And I bring this article to you because I would like you to consider the use of tech in compliance. Obviously, the Department of Justice has been hammering home the need for data analytics, and your compliance program, you're going to need to bring this forward as well. So how are you going to deal with the requirements for new technologies in your compliance program in the wake of or in the reality of the current economic situation? Happy May Day.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.